I have a whole life outside of the pursuit of my dreams. So do you, I assume. I've got a marriage and children and a career and groceries and dishes and 1,000 other things. I don't have time to waste time. If I'm going to fight for my right to pursue something new for myself, I need it to be as effective as possible. And to be effective, it's got to be totally focused. In the past, whenever I set out to start my diet and my exercise program and finally write my novel, my energy and enthusiasm wouldn't survive the week. There were too many priorities, too many things to keep track of. I got overwhelmed easily and couldn't keep up with it all. When everything is important, nothing is important. I found success when I learned to focus, and focus requires choosing one thing. It's hard for first-timers to commit to only one area when they're passionate about growth. What they don't realize is that a goal is like a harbor. When the tide rises in the harbor, all the boats rise. This amazing thing happens when you start to grow in one area of your life. Other areas improve with it. If you drop a handful of pebbles into a lake, you'll move the water around a bit. If you drop a boulder into a lake, meaning if you put all your energy into one area, the impact is incredible. The ripple effects of that choice spread out in all directions. For clarity's sake, I'd like to mention that it's very possible to grow in multiple areas of your life once you've achieved success in one area and established it as a habit. For instance, I am able to maintain my health and fitness regimen while pursuing a new goal, because health and fitness are habits in my life now. But if I had tried to conquer them simultaneously, or attempted to take them on while starting my new company, let's say, I wouldn't have been successful. The question then becomes, how do you decide? How do you pick the right thing to focus on next? Well, if you're me, you narrow it down using a process I like to call 10-10-1. If you've never heard of 10-10-1 before, that's because I made it up. But I did trademark it because it's a good idea and I'm not a dummy. Like most things in life, I figure out a process that works for me, and when pressed to explain it, I write it out and give it a snappy title. See my entire publishing career. 10 years, 10 dreams, 1 goal. Who do you want to be in 10 years? What are the 10 dreams that would make that a reality for you? Which one of those dreams are you going to turn into a goal and focus on next? 10-10-1. Let's look at it a bit more closely together. 10 years. I like to encourage people to start closing their eyes and imagining the best version of themselves. Imagine that a decade of time has gone by and you are living your best possible ideal for yourself and your life. Dream big. Don't put any restriction on it. Don't overthink it. Just allow yourself to envision the most magnificent possible future version of yourself. A decade in the future, what is the very best version of yourself doing? What does she look like? How does she go about her day? How does she speak to people she loves? How is she loved in return? What kind of clothes does she wear? What kind of car does she drive? Is she a great cook? Does she love to read? Does she love to run? Get as specific as you possibly can. Where do you go on vacation? What's your favorite restaurant to eat at now that your life is different? What kind of food do you consume? What does it feel like to go throughout your day? Are you optimistic? Are you encouraging to others? After a decade of working on yourself and growing as a woman, how much joy is there in your life? Who's in your life? What's your week like? How do you treat people? How do they treat you? Just let your dreams run absolutely wild. Are you happy? Are you energetic? Are you driven? Do you feel ambitious? What's your relationship like with your family members? Do you own a home? And what does it look like? Do you have kids? Do you have a family? Are you married? What's the best of the best? Now go bigger. What's a bigger version of the best version of you? Living every day in the best state that you know how to be. What do you do for work? What is the highest value that your future self holds? Is it family? Is it loyalty? Is it growth? Be as specific as you can be. Now, without a second of judgment or overthinking it, I want you to write down everything that you just thought of as fast as you can. I don't want you to forget any of it. I want that future version of you to be seared inside your brain. The best version of me is, when I'm at my best, don't hold back. This is not the time to think it through or tell yourself to slow down. This is not the time for realistic. This is the time to think as big as you can possibly go. Hopefully, this exercise helped you paint a clear picture in your mind of a lot of different awesome things your future self can take part in. Personally, I like to do this once or twice a year and create a vision board, like in 5th grade when you glue a bunch of magazine clippings to poster paper. So I've got a visual to go along with my mental imagery. That's the first step. That's you in 10 years. Now, here is how you narrow it down. 10 dreams. Turn your 10 years into 10 dreams. If those 10 dreams came true, they would make your vision a reality. So, if you saw a future that was completely financially free, maybe your dreams would be things like making a 6-figure salary, being completely debt-free, etc. But maybe your future dream self is also healthy and happy and energetic. Add becoming a marathon runner and vegetarian to the mix. The important thing is, again, to be specific. The list of dreams is how that future vision manifests for you. Often, when we do this, we come up with more than 10, but it's essential to narrow it down. Focus matters, remember? Choose 10 dreams that, if they were to come true, would make your future self real. Now, here's the key. Write down those 10 dreams in a notebook every single day, and write them as if they've already happened. I do this every day of my life because I want the repetition to instill in my head and my heart where my focus should be. I want to remind myself who I should be. I write them as if they've already happened because I read somewhere once that your subconscious focuses on what you give it. If you tell yourself and your subconscious, I'm going to make $1 million, you don't end up focusing on the goal, but on the words going to. It becomes like a to-do list for your brain. You didn't give it direction. You didn't ask your mind to help you figure out how. You only told it that you were going to do something, which isn't especially powerful, no matter how big a goal you set for yourself, because you create to-do lists all the time. What makes this something your brain should take notice of?